Kingdom Chapter 829. The moment is now upon us. General Shin of the Heishin unit is all but confirmed as Chin's #1 contributor for this conquest of Han. This chapter was an interesting one, whether it was Rokyomi and Yokoyoko battling it out, Tou and Raulkan having completely different reactions to Shin's victory over Hakuyokoku, or Yokoyoko proving himself as more than a mindless brute, as more than something like a Gaimo. It did not disappoint. So let's not waste any time and get straight into this review. The chapter begins right where we left off. Rokyomi and Yokoyoko begin their duel. Immediately, the first thing I notice is Yokoyoko's elbow beginning to crack, resembling that of when Mobu swung down so hard on Kanmei that the same thing happened. So Rokyomi, he has some juice in those arms. Who knows, he might be on steroids. Seeing that bone pop out gave Rokyomi all the confidence in the world to continue his offense. This was short-lived as Yokoyoko responded with a slash to his chest. Even with what seems to be a, if not broken, fractured elbow, Yokoyoko's unfazed. He's acting almost Hoken-like with this durability. Meanwhile, Tou and Raulkan engage in their own duel. Raulkan is still watching the other two, but Tou isn't having it. He's locked in on the task at hand, giving Raulkan no time to breathe, laying on him an onslaught of farus, all ending with a sword thrust into Raulkan's neck. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. In this moment, I'm not thinking of anything except for the fact that Tou is moments away from a decisive victory over Han. Turns out this wasn't two separate duels at all. Yokoyoko has his sights set on one thing, protecting his master from anything that threatens his life. At first, it was a Rokyomi flank attack, and now it's a Tou direct attack. I don't know if y'all really get it. Yokoyoko saved his life. A vertical slash for the ages, forcing Tou to block instead of parrying. If it wasn't for Yokoyoko, Raulkan would not have luckily left this encounter with only a shallow neck wound. I have to say though, before this chapter, Raulkan did alright in terms of martial performance. I'm not saying he's fodder, but it might be safe to say with Tou being 1 second away from slaying him, he clears Raulkan. After this small series of fighting, Yokoyoko reveals to Raulkan that General Hakuyokoku has been slain. The shock in his eyes is pure bliss for every Chin enthusiast, including myself. The best part is Yokoyoko exclaiming. He is screaming out that it was none other than Shin of the Heishin unit that defeated him. In a fierce test of whose weight was heaviest, Hakuyokoku lost and was ultimately slain. The interesting thing here is Yokoyoko feeling the most responsible in not only failing to protect Hakuyokoku, but also failing to defeat Shin. It could be very easy if he was a meathead to blame Hakuyokoku for not being able to win despite being Han's second general. Instead, we get our first clue to Yokoyoko's true rational nature. He's almost taking the responsibility in the way that a great general would after a blunder. At the same time, Tou and his army overheard the same news with a completely opposite reaction. Naturally, starting with Rokyomi's initial reaction. Hilarious! This guy really said that brat, that little bastard Shin from all those years ago really did it. Everyone in the Tou army is thrilled at this achievement. An understatement. It is a knife to Han's stomach. All that needs to happen now is for the Heishin unit to flood onto their battlefield for certain victory. Next, Tou's reaction. Emotional, and we love to see it. We all know what he's thinking. Tou has been there every time Shin has spoken to Oki. He knows that dynamic best. The young, boisterous lad that begged for Oki's help not only went on to inherit his glaive, but has now become so reliable. All of this makes Rokyomi's second reaction even sweeter. He sheds a few tears. I'm sure that he does feel immense joy, but definitely solace that Oki's bet on the new generation paid off. That Oki made the right choice in passing his glaive onto Shin, his worthy successor. I thought this next part was pretty funny. Yokoyoko is still trying to rub it in. Raulkan already knows Hakuyokoku died, but Yokoyoko keeps glazing. I do like how Kyokai keeps on gaining more respect from the higher up generals though. He states that Shin's victory has swung all the left wing's morale completely in Shin's favor, that they must be wary of Kyokai, that it won't be long before the Heishin unit comes in their direction. I thought all of this could have gone without saying, it's pretty obvious. But this is the second clue to Yokoyoko's true rational nature. He really isn't a pure musclehead. If anything, he's proving that he has his emotions in check, and he might be more rational and reasonable than even Raulkan, who should be the master. Right now, that isn't the case. Hearing all of this only makes Raulkan want to fight Tou more. That will secure them the overall victory. He wants so badly to gain the upper hand. I'm sure it goes beyond duty for Raulkan. He lost his closest comrade in Hakuyokoku, his other malefic star. In comes in the third and clearest clue to Yokoyoko's true rational nature. He knows this attitude attitude isn't like Raulkan at all. Just because he isn't screaming out in anguish doesn't mean he is in control of his emotions right now. Even Yokoyoko agrees with us that Raulkan's greatest strength is supposed to be his composure, always making the calm and rational decisions. What really got him was Yokoyoko making it plain as day that Shinte is destined for ruin if both Hakuokoku and Raulkan are lost. It doesn't matter that the Han soldiers' morale right now remains as high as ever. Yokoyoko does not like their chances against Tou. Aura, by the way. But seriously, in his eyes, it's an unnecessary gamble. I know it hurts. The humility it takes to put aside one's pride and admit this is not a situation where we can defeat the enemy's leader. Although Raulkan most of the time has a poker face, he has heard enough to return to his calm state. I expected nothing less from his trusted lieutenant. This part was actually funny. Rokiomi did not make it easy for Raulkan to stay calm and put forward his best instigating performance. He knows that Shin has a better chance than ever to slay Raulkan here. So what does he do? He transforms into the greatest rage baiter under the heavens. He appeals not to Raulkan but his soldiers. That Shin's supreme commander is right here and their commander is too scared to test him? Is this really Han's top general? It is nothing short of a masterclass. Funnily enough, the rage bait worked. Yokoyoko, who seconds ago was the calm one, instantly got emotional. Defending his master, he proclaims that the Han army is different to the likes of us. That's gotta be racist. How could he talk to us like that? Us. Raulkan is not fighting for the sake of glory or the status of a martial hero. That much is true. Assuming that for Shin without knowing what we know as readers is the crazy thing. I gotta say, Yokoyoko again makes some great points. He said Raulkan didn't choose that path, but I think he more so had no choice in his path. I can see where he's coming from. Shin possesses a plethora of talent. Most people born in that state probably have the privilege of looking at wars as a means to climb the ranks and grow in status. The only path for Raulkan is the one thrust upon him. Of course he would choose to protect Han to the very end. It's noble of him. Let's be real though. For a small state like Han, there does not exist the luxury of seeking out wars for fame or fortune. Rather, Han's fate is to constantly defend. Every Han war likely threatens their existence. It must feel like a coalition invasion every time. Raulkan, finally back to his old self, tells Yokoyoko that's enough. Me personally, I enjoyed his spiel. It's real what he said. Now Raulkan knows what he must do. He can't afford to die here. He must live to protect Han to the very end, to protect their precious capital of Shinte from the villainous blades of Shin. The arc continues. Raulkan, with his newfound resolve, strikes Tou in the face. I actually thought that hurt him. I haven't seen his eyes turn white since Oki was on the brink of death. Turns out it was nothing. Tou blocked it and he's even smiling. This entire sequence then turns into a frenzy real quick, before Raulkan makes the final call to retreat. Everyone is to concede to Shin on this first day and fall back to their next defensive line at the Tosa Plains. The plan is to regroup from the second day onward, but for now they're done. They're cooked. Rokiomi tries to pursue him. Yokoyoko, assigned as the rear guard, ain't gonna let it happen. This duty, I'm sure for him as Raulkan's lieutenant, is of utmost honor and pride. Anyway, Raulkan's out of here. Shin is now the one panicking, which is weird. It should be Han, though the thought process is that failing to defeat Raulkan here would be the worst possible outcome. I don't know about worse, but if I were to try to rationalize why this is the consensus, I would say maybe they could split the Hakuokoku forces into a separate Yokoyoko army and use the other half to bolster the Raulkan army. Reforming that way would place Shin back to square one, possibly. Despite Rokiomi and the entire Tou army trying their absolute hardest to claim Raulkan's head, Yokoyoko is making it impossible to even chase after him. So much so that Tou questions him. Who the hell is he? What is he? He's way too sharp and formidable to be a simple soldier or another loyal ordinary commander. Perhaps it's a Tou and Oki situation. It's not like he is below Raulkan to begin with. He is someone that is dedicated and does not mind serving under someone else he considers great. I swear, started getting philosophical out of the blue. Yokoyoko claps back and asks Tou who the hell is he? Either both of them are chads and are acknowledging each other's sneakily impressive ability, or it's something else. I can think of a couple of things. First, the last two times we heard anything like this was when Hoken said it to Oki during Baiyo, and Rinpochen said it to Tou during the coalition invasion. Both times, Oki and Tou respectively stood firm in proclaiming themselves as a great general of the heavens. Call me crazy? Yokoyoko Yokoyoko must not only not be a mere lieutenant, but rather he is a great general of the heavens. I mean, he was the one that made the best decision for the army. He was the one that convinced Raulkan to do so. Could he possess the experience or the weight that Raulkan might be missing? The weight it takes to be a great general of the heavens? As for Yokoyoko questioning Tou the same thing, it might serve as a reminder for how Tou views himself. Does he really see himself as a great general of the heavens? Would such a person put all their efforts not in their own achievements but in the next generation? In Shin, Ohon, Kyokai? The conversation then concludes with Tou saying it was an unnecessary question on a battlefield. Maybe it's something political. Maybe Yokoyoko is an important figure. Maybe it's something stupid, as in conversing on the battlefield with an enemy is not ideal. The chapter ends here. Han flag swaying in the winds of retreat. There is no more beautiful sight right now. Raulkan looking back at the Tou army riding away in defeat. The Heishin unit celebrating. Kyokai finally taking a break after her relentless fighting while still looking like a baddie. By the way, protecting her husband Shin from a flank attack. On this day, in a single day's work, the first battle is all but settled. Shin taking Hakuyokoku's head, Han's second greatest general, resulted in a decisive victory for the Qin army. The glory of the 8A plains belongs to Qin and to Shin. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you for tuning in. Did you enjoy this video? Leave a like and a comment, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more Kingdom videos like this.